Good evening. It is, what is today? Is it Monday? It is Monday, March 20th, 2023. I'm your host, John Schenk, for the Deerwood Realty live stream, coming to you live at 9. Just notice that the camera's flipped. I don't know if this is all set up. Look at this nasty. Oh my God. I hate that. I gotta fix it. Look, it's coming. Always it's coming. Like things will get better. I realized I gotta get my Rodecaster Pro soundboard together. I've never spent any time on it because I've been so busy just trying to get things to work. Now I've kind of got things working. I never did answer whether or not I'm going to paint the background or if I'm going to get a cloth. But I am going to change that out, I think. I am going to change the lights. I don't know. Lots to do. Always a lot to do. What a terrible start to the program, actually. It's a minute in and I'm complaining about everything. Going to be an odd night tonight. I've been up a long time, and I'm running out of energy. So it ought to be interesting to see what we do today. I'm just seeing that I thought I had everything done right, and now I'm looking at my screen and I realized that I didn't finish doing stuff that I was supposed to do, and it's bad. So I just fixed that. For those of you who don't know me, and you've stumbled on my live stream, my name is John Schenk, and I am the founder and managing broker of Deerwood Realty in St. Louis, Missouri. We're a small residential firm. We help buyers buy homes and sellers sell theirs. At night, I do the Deerwood Realty live stream, 9 o'clock, Monday through Friday, pretty much. Weekend was tough this weekend. I didn't get anything done, and I'm sorry for that. But we'll go over that too. Got a good show tonight, I think. Gonna go over this. There's this thing that I saw on Twitter, a video, and I don't know if it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And then, I'm not one of those people to pile on. I'm just gonna I think where I'm at is what to make of it with you. You help me figure out what it's about because I don't know. So we got that. We've got some articles. Everyone likes a good article. Got some stories. My weekend, and no complaints. No complaints. But it was a day. How do I put this? Let's get into it. It's 3 minutes in. Okay. So there were two main things going on this weekend. There was a party to go to for one of my recent buyers, and then there was showings. I have to do showings on the weekend. And so Friday night, I went out and showed some houses. I didn't even get a chance to even go over what I saw with you. I said I would do it on Saturday, and then I didn't, because I ran into a spot. We'll get to that. But so Friday night, I did the live stream. I knew I had to get up early because I had to show houses. But, have you ever, maybe you've not, I run into this problem a lot with my family, and that is they see me working, but they don't see any money. Okay? Let me put an example. So they say say on Saturday, I've been working all week, and then Saturday I have to show houses, and I say I have to show houses. I'm glad that I have clients that I can show houses to, but I mean, that's what I do. And then sometimes a family member will say hey, how did the showings go? And I'll be like, they went fine. And then they'll ask, did anybody put an offer? And I'll say, no, God, no. And they're like, well, that's terrible. You're going to show them more houses. And it's like, yes, I will show someone houses for years. That's just part of the business. It's not the best part of the business. But this idea of like you're going to go out and show somebody one house and they're going to buy it every single time is ridiculous. And so I'm just used to it. And I think that we're going to go over one tweet today, I think, that kind of encapsulates what it's like to be at least a buyer's agent. Listing agent is different. Listing agent, like I would say this, I would put it this way. I would say as a buyer's agent, you're just, all your time is showing houses. Okay. And then as a listing agent, all your time is getting the listing sold in the sense that like, you know, you're answering questions, you're marketing the property as best you know how. And it's different. It's really, really, it's very strange how different it is. But anyway, Saturday, I was, you know, I feel like there's always like magical moments when someone decides they want to buy a house and it actually works out. But there's also this feeling of it wasn't meant to be. I had some buyers a while back put in an offer on a house and it just wasn't the right house. I just knew it. But I still put in an offer and, you know, we didn't get it and that's the way it was. But their response, you can tell a lot from serious home buyers versus people that aren't ever going to get a house by the way they go and look at houses. That is, they actually go and look at houses. You're never going to buy a house sitting on the couch. Not going to happen. Or it shouldn't happen. If it is happening, you'll probably be one of those people that have regrets because you didn't go see the house in person. But anyway, I'm sorry, the microphone. Anyway, the houses we saw Friday night before the stream. No, and then Saturday we started off with one house. I was having a tough Saturday, and I'll get to it now because I've got time. I started off. I set my alarm. I had all the showings ready to go, but I still had to print the paperwork for them, and I still had to do some other things. So the first thing I did when I got up is I wanted to make sure my super key was updated on my phone. Well, I went to update it and it wouldn't update. So that means it needs an emergency update code from my desktop. So then I had to come downstairs. I had to print my stuff anyway, so I came downstairs, worked on the code, and then I went and started with the printing of the documents. Well, I bought a new cable to transmit data. I don't know why. I felt like things were kind of slower than they needed to be, and so I thought maybe a new cable. So I ended up putting up my new computer on a different network than the other one, so none of my printers worked. So now I've got no Supra, and I can't print anything. Wife, as she does wonderfully on the weekends, fixed breakfast, and I knew I had to go. And so I was running around like crazy, and I didn't get everything done, and my breakfast was rushed. I'm not even say, well, shame, you know, poor you had a rushed breakfast, but, you know, your wife spends time to make breakfast for you, and you can't eat it. Anyway, so then I had to use the bathroom, and that was going to make me late. Now, there's some dilemma here, like, oh my God, what if I just don't use the bathroom and just go? That's just, as an agent, that's a terrible plan. That's a terrible plan. So did that, and then I was about 15 minutes late. But this is how I do buyer's agency in general. Look, I schedule appointments, and I try to be there on time, and I try to be early in every situation. But sometimes that's not possible. And so I tell my buyers up front, I say, look, I try to be on time. Sometimes that doesn't happen. Here's how we want to do this. If you're late, I won't get upset once or twice. And if I'm late, you just give me the benefit of the doubt once or twice. And that's how we'll do it. Because what ends up happening is I'll be 15 minutes early to one appointment. Am I rewarded for that? No. In no way am I rewarded for that. And so then there'll be other times when I'm late. And then it happens the same way with the buyers. It just depends on how many houses you look at. We can't always be perfect with time. So anyway, the first house, we were 15 minutes late. We walked through it. There was already three groups of people walking through the house. The house had a bowed wall in the basement, a number of cracks. The first floor had a wonderful addition to it, but then it had the kitchen was very small and like a galley kitchen, but you walked right through it. And then at the end, the flooring was coming up, and and it was all solar, which, whatever your opinion of that is your own, but it's just, to me, it's more trouble than it's worth in this particular spot. And then the backyard was just a disaster. My buyers have dogs. Not going to work unless they buy a fence. And then it's like, why are we spending money on a fence when we could just buy a house that already has a fence? Anyway, that was a no. Second house we went to, I thought this was kind of funny. So they were asking, so this was the house I talked about on Friday. They were asking, or they had bought the house for $220,000, maybe a year ago or two. They had redone a basement bathroom, and there were pictures of the backyard. There were pictures of the house, and it looked to be okay. Nothing special. They slapped a price of $310,000 on this house, which is what I've told you is like what the real cost of inflation is. It's the value you're getting for your dollar. I have a gnat, and you guys know if you've watched the show any amount of time that gnats are just a part of my show. Anyway, so I kind of wanted to go to the house to just see, like, what are we talking about with a $310,000 asking price on a house that was just $210,000 or $220,000 just 2 years ago. Go to the house. It's a nice house. It's okay. It's kind of beat up. Then we go to the backyard. There's a wood fence, and then there's a retention pond behind the wood fence. It wasn't in the disclosures. It wasn't in the pictures. So now we got a house asking $310,000, and you get the joy of living next to a retention pond. So that was a no. That was a no. We went to the third house, and the third house, I don't know how to put it. We walked in, and there was new carpeting, and you could smell the new carpeting, and that's fine. It's good when a buyer decides that they want to. Sorry. It's good when a buyer decides that they want to, or when a seller decides they want to, fix up the house a little bit before they sell it. That's not a fix and flip. That's just, making it nice. So new carpet, we walk through. And there wasn't anything like terrible about it. My buyers did not have a moment of like, hey, let's buy this house. Right then, when we went outside, there was some talk about it. I got a phone call. Oh, so then I was done. And so it was getting to be later in the afternoon. I showed them houses over like a 2-hour period, 2 or 4 hour period. And I was getting ready to lay down when I got a call from my buyers, and they're like, hey, I think we want to put an offer in on this house. They said, hey, let's go see this house again tomorrow. And I said, why do we want to go see it tomorrow? And they're like, well, we want somebody to come and take a look at it with us. And I'm like, Are we writing an offer? Because the reason why would we wait a day to write an offer on a house in this market? It's so hard to get anything under contract, and we're going to wait a day. when the listing's already been active for 2 days. I was like, no, let's just go ahead and write an offer if we're thinking about writing an offer. And they're like, okay. So we wrote an offer. And this was at like 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock comes through, accepted contract. I actually got a house under contract this weekend on Saturday, which is fantastic. My buyers deserve this house, at least a nice house if it turns out to be. We have inspections tomorrow. But I was happy for them, and they were happy. So that was Saturday night. That was some good news. That's why you write offers. Never going to get a house if you don't write an offer, and write a timely one. If there's like something in the disclosures that says, we're only accepting offers up until this time, well, the best chance you have is following the rules. I hate to say it, but if somebody else is writing the rules in this market, you go ahead and take it. And the best thing to do there was no rules there. They didn't say they were taking. They said they'd like, I think 48 hours notice. So okay, here's an offer. Let me know in 48 hours. I was fully prepared to wait until tonight to be disappointed that we didn't get the house. But again, you just write an offer and you write it. I mean, we wrote a compelling offer. And we'd been in the neighborhood twice before, and we'd seen houses sell that were terrible for more money. And so we were like, and I hope the deal works out. I just don't know. I don't like to, until something's actually closed, absolutely finished, check has been deposited, deal's always up in the air for me. It's just the way I do things. That's the way I think. So, anyway, Sunday I went for a ride with my wife. I went for a ride with my wife. We went to Trail of Tears State Park near Cape Girardeau, and there's a scenic overlook overlooking the Mississippi. If you look at my shorts, I put one of the shorts up from some video, and it did well on the YouTube shorts. I'm going to take a moment to kick YouTube just a little bit. Look, I don't know what I did to anger the YouTube gods, okay? But I had a fun, enjoyable YouTube short maybe Friday that I thought was going to do wonderful. It had 3 views total. It had 3 likes, and it had more than 100% view rate. And yet it never went anywhere. And I was like, well, that's terrible. So I did another one. In fact, I don't even know. I'm going to look real quick here, which is probably bad. I don't know what I expect out of YouTube Shorts other than when people say, oh, it went viral. For me, that's like 10 views. I mean, it's bad. All right. Anyway, I put that on there, got 300 views for the overlook. And I got 3 for the one that I thought was going to do well. On the topic of YouTube, we got 151 subscribers. We've been doing better lately. Thank you. I know you don't all watch during the stream time because maybe you're like, there's probably 50 other things to watch. I refuse to believe you're watching Hannity anymore. If you guys are watching Hannity on Fox, I mean, come on. What's he going to do? Have Lindsey Graham on and promise something? Lindsey Graham doesn't do anything. You should know that, unless it's war. He loves war. So, I mean, you don't need to watch Hannity. I mean, I don't even know who's on MSNBC or any of those. So, you could watch me. We're good. I guarantee you I'm more real than Hannity's ever been. He's a character. He's not real. Anyway, so it was really cold Sunday, and so I mean we were wearing heavy coats and everything. Then Sunday night, had to pick up an escrow check to deliver to the title company today. We did that, and now we're on today. And we started the day with nothing weird. I have, the title company doesn't work on the weekends, and so today is the day when everything, and neither does the lender. Like the lender doesn't really work during the weekends. They'll put together like a letter, a pre-approval letter or something, but they won't go really hard at it most of the time until Monday. And so I had the lender take a look at the offer, the accepted offer, and they said it should be fine. So, yeah. So I was happy. You guys know that things are weird in the mortgage market right now. Let me just go to and by the way, I'm going to publicly shame myself so that I do something about this. So this is the Deerwood Realty, and I'm still going to change it over because I think it looks better this way now. As I've done it, I think this looks better. And I think this also looks better. Oh, man. I'm trying to get the bug, and it's not going well. It's the same one, just so you know. Oh, it's in my face. What do you think if we did this, and then... What do you think? You tell me. I kind of like this. It's kind of housey. Do you like that? Dark bubbles? I don't really particularly like that. I kind of like this. But it's kind of busy. I don't know. And I like the black. We'll do this. Put your comments in there. Let me know what you think. If you don't like it, we'll change it. I should have an overlay. So anyway, I'm publicly shaming myself. Let's look at this. So this is a Deerwood Realty page. If you guys have been paying attention, this has not changed in like a month. I need to fix that. It's supposed to be, I know how to fix it. I just haven't gotten to it. Then we have our new player. And I think this got posted today. I don't know why it's so short. So clearly something's wrong because this one is an hour and 22 minutes and this one is 36 minutes. So I'm pretty sure something's up. So that's a mistake. So I'm just showing you like where things are messed up. But anyway, let's get to the 30-year fix. Here we go. It's 30-year fix at 6.67%. It rose 12 basis points from last weekend or from Friday. What's going on with that? Why is it going up? If there's a run on the bank, why are the mortgages going down? How are we pricing risk? I don't know. I don't have the answer. I'm not a mortgage person. I'm just saying that's what I see. So anyway, I need to fix my screen. I need to get this stupid gnat. Oh, I hate it. Anyway. Yeah. So, 6.67%. Where are rates going? I see some people that say rates are going down, but house prices will go up, which means that that's not a deal. I see some people that say rates are going up, and that's going to kill the housing market. But what does that mean? I mean, there's people that have to buy homes and people that have to sell homes. Right now, it's a good time to be a seller, even now in St. Louis. And that's why it's so tough to be regional. Like other places, it's not so great. But here, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Buyer, not good. But I'm always going to be that way because I'm always looking for a deal. It's just the way I see it. So, yeah. So I've now publicly shamed myself with the bad website. I got to fix those things. So far I've told you I need to fix the back behind me. I'm having a little trouble with that because I need a drill. I lent my drill to my stepson, and Haven't gotten it back. I need to fix the lighting. Need to fix the background. Need to fix the website. A lot of fixing. Oh, I need to do the Roadcaster. It's just one thing after another. So, I don't want to rip on this person. Okay? Oh gosh. And I don't want the sound either. Okay, I'm going to go over here. I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen the girl or lady that tries to make fresh pasta on Twitter or maybe on wherever you watch your favorite videos? TikTok. I think I got him. Anyway, let's take a look. Okay. Now I have to go to that screen, I guess. And there it is. Let me go where I need to go. Oh, shoot. Okay, let me go here. Okay, I'm going to go here. You should be seeing it. Now, so let's just watch it. I don't know if you can see it. I'll check later, but here she is making. It's like, what is she doing? And like, she just put dry pasta in the. And why? Why did you do this? Like, what are we doing? And did you know that like a blender would do that? And she talks, and I don't know. I'm watching this. Look at that. She's, she got an egg, and she added it to her. Now she's got another egg, and she added it to her, and she's making dough. And at this point, I was like, oh, is she making like cookies or something? Now, why I thought she was making cookies, I don't know. She's just going to town there with her rolling pin, and I was like, what is this about? And now she's cutting it. I was like, well, wait a minute, that looks like noodles. It looks like she literally took noodles and like she took spaghetti that was in a box, and she's now making her own spaghetti. But I don't know why. Like, she could have just boiled the spaghetti that was in there. She made spaghetti out of spaghetti. I mean, there she goes. And I was like, I don't understand. Why would you take something that... Why would you take something that was already done and do it again? It was confusing to me. The lady showed us how to make spaghetti with spaghetti. I just don't understand. I'm going to fast forward here, but just in case I miss something. I mean, she's very proud of her work, and okay. What was that about? And so people on the internet are like, "You're an idiot. Why would you do that?" It's got like 5 million views on Twitter, and God only knows how many on TikTok. Why, though? Is it a joke? Is it like, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Like, why would you want to? I mean, I know that, like, as we've gone on in my life, they've said that technology is going to solve a lot of your problems. And it's going to really, it's going to make things better. But I never thought that we'd be, using all this technology to produce videos on how to make spaghetti out of spaghetti. I just don't understand. You had the spaghetti there. And then, I mean, could you make like other types of noodles? That might be somewhat. I mean, could you make a macaroni style noodle or a rigatoni, or maybe like for lasagna? Where does this end? What is the end game here? I just don't understand. I guess we'll get into the Twitter tonight then. Unusual Whale comes in and says, breaking, U.S. officials are studying ways to let the FDIC temporarily insure deposits behind the current $250,000 cap on most accounts without having to get approval from Congress. What's wrong with that? Well, here's what's wrong with that. I'll tell you. Why do we have Congress if you're just going to go around them anyway? Like, why do they have the worst approval rating of any of the branches of the government? I mean, that's saying something. I don't know if I got the other guy, but one of his friends is here. Anyway, I don't even bipartisan. That's a joke. Like, that word is a trick. It means bipartisan means Republicans cave, absolutely cave on whatever the Democrats want. That's what bipartisan means. So I don't want a bipartisan fix. I want a fix. Like, I want a fix. I want people that, care enough about the country to fix this problem. Why are we temporarily insuring deposits, and why are we not doing it all the time? Because it would be expensive. Maybe that's why it needs, maybe that's why, you have a hard time convincing me that if it's very expensive to insure all these accounts, okay, then there's like a value of money component to the money. It seems to me like the money should be worth so much that the cost to insure it should be low. It seems like it's backwards. It seems like the cost to insure is high, but the value of the money is low. Out of focus finger. So, I think that the Congress should be consulted more. I think we have like a technocrat set up in our government where they don't really do anything. Like, the people in Congress don't really do anything. The president doesn't really do anything. The president's a figurehead. I'm okay with that. I get a little bit concerned when people are like, oh, no, he's really making decisions on his own. No, he's a figurehead. Any of them that we've had. And then, like, we've got the head of the Senate on the Republican side is, like, in therapy from a fall. He's still legislating. We have Fetterman in Pennsylvania. He's supposed to be legislating. He's written letters. He's written legislation. It's confusing to me. Why have a Congress if they don't do anything? And stop with this like they're going to investigate. We're going to hold hearings. What are you doing? Like, what good does that do? I mean, I could have like a real estate hearing tomorrow and we could talk about, buyers and sellers, but it doesn't do anything. You're just talking. Like, you've got millions of dollars. Go put somebody in jail for something. I mean, I've seen them refer charges, and that doesn't seem to do anything. It's just worthless. Just worthless. I've got a bug, and I might get him. They're fast, but they're stupid. So that's helpful. I got him. But I did knock my screen here, and that's not good, so I'm going to tip it back here like so. Okay. Hopefully that's the last. Oh, God. As if, on cue. I got to do something about this. This is ridiculous. Okay. You let me know in the stream. Let me know in the comments. Do you think Congress should be bothered with the idea of insuring all of the deposits in the United States of every bank for temporarily? Tim Kempton on Twitter, he's an ex-pro basketball player. Don't remember him. I don't really know anything about him other than he wrote, office to multifamily conversions is a popular topic in the media, but rare and unlikely to impact the bottom line of either sector. OTM conversions, office to multifamily, make up approximately 1% of multifamily deliveries over the past 20 years. That means not a lot. Now, to me, I saw a lot of it in 2007, not 2005 or 2007 in major metropolitan areas, specifically Detroit, where I was living at the time. And I would say that there was a lot of conversions. And there was problems with that at the time because a certain amount of the product had to be retail or, had to be owner occupied residential. And then you could have some retail on the bottom floor, but it couldn't have been more than a large percentage. Couldn't have been a larger percentage than the living space to get a loan. Those rules were dumb. I'll just go out on a limb and just let you know that those were dumb. They didn't help anybody. A lot of rules these days, kind of dumb, don't help anyone, but nobody says anything. But I did have, I have two chatters, okay? And one of the guys was like, hey, man, this is probably where it's going to be next. I'm like, I don't think it is. Because we haven't had a lot of it. There is one building in downtown St. Louis, the AT&T building, I think just got sold. It's supposed to be a conversion. I don't know if it'll happen. I don't know what's going to happen at all. By the way, I'm not a good prognosticator. If I were, I would. I don't know what you want me to say. If I were a good prognosticator. Moving on, every realtor at NYC is like this deep Brooklyn junior one bedroom is $5,000 a month and only a 20-minute walk from the nearest C train. And then when you demean yourself enough to inquire, they say the only time I can show it is at 3 p.m. on a weekday, and I charge a $7,000 fee, by the way. I don't know how rentals work here in St. Louis anymore. It used to be you could get, on a house at least, on a rental, you'd get half the first month's rent. And then property management companies and people got greedy, and they're like, nope, we'll give you 20% of the first month's rent. And for 20% of the first month's rent, it's not even worth getting in my car. Okay? It's just not. People get mad at me. They're like, you should show me this. I can't show you a rental. Again, getting out of my car is more expensive than just going to show it. I'm just not going to do it. If it changes back to half a month's rent while I do it, no. No, so what is the rents running in St. Louis? Maybe a high of 2,000. So is it worth 1,000? You'd think that, but it's not that easy. Because then you get stuck writing up the lease, even though you don't know what the hell the management company wants. You get stuck dealing with all the deposits and everything. And it's just like, there's no money in this. I'm not doing it. If it changes, I would consider it. But I've been in that world, and I don't want to be in the world anymore. Econ Circus, whether it's a bailout for $1 billion bank or a stimulus check for the poor, it's socialism either way. Under capitalism, no central bank or government could steal from one to give to another. Heck, under capitalism, there would be no central bank or government. We don't live with capitalism here in the United States. We haven't for a long time. They bailed out the automakers. They bailed out the banks. We bail out everyone. If you're politically connected, you're allowed to continue down the path. The government picks winners and losers all the time. If the government came in and said, John, I think what you're doing is very, very vital to the public interest, I would be okay with that. Pay me. I want $10 million. You say, why $10 million, John? Well, I think I can get away with that. I think I can, I'd be able to pay all my bills. I would work. I would work. But it's got to be enough money to make it worth my while. You tell me what you think. Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments. Do you think that the government should be in the business of bailing out banks, bailing out anybody? Is it cool with you? A lot of people are always against it until it hits them in the back pocket. Then they're like, oh, no, we should do this. Everybody's got their hand in the pot. Markets and Mayhem, it says the path to recession travels across tightening lending standards. This is a debt-driven economy. As the cost of capital rises and availability of it becomes constrained, economic activity will deteriorate markedly. So I don't know if that's true. And not as a criticism, but it's how you get the money. For instance, when I used to buy single family homes, the market rate was 2%. We were paying 6%. Two local banks. Okay. What they wanted is they wanted to finance receivables. That's all they wanted to do. So, banks are so highly regulated. The fact that there's been a run on a bank, and the fact that this has all occurred shows you how devoid of standards we've gotten, or we've become. I swear to God, another gnat has entered the chat. I hate this. Gonna have to do something. Anyway, look, I'm not handing out the money. I thought cheap money was bad, but that was papering over the problems in 2008. We have fundamental problems with a fiat currency, and it's just going to continue this way the rest of my life. They're never going to fix it. We're going to have runaway inflation now. Nobody's going to say a word. Because again, when I was a kid, gas was worth $1. And that was considered expensive to the people that bought gas in 1930. It was like pennies. Kids grow up and they're like, oh, gas is $3.50 a gallon. Totally cool. They don't know. And then when it gets to be $7 a gallon, when they're, 18 or 19, or when they're in their 30s and their kids are, let's say in their 40s and their kids are 15 and 16 years old getting their license, they'll be like, oh, it's totally normal. It's $7 a gallon. It's just the way things are. I don't have to like it. It's just the way it is. Now I hit the wrong buttons. Darth Powell wrote this: in 2021, house prices only go up. Early 2002, house prices may slow down a little, but they definitely won't fall. Late 2002, home prices will fall, but not by a lot. Early 2023, only a few cities have fallen a lot. Current, I'm angry about how fast prices are falling, but look, They're not falling here in St. Louis. Darth Powell says we'll land closer to 2019 prices. Look, if we did, it's still not bad. Given the run-up we've had. That's my opinion. Don't at me. Let's get to some articles. It says it's all about curb appeal, a simple landscaping task that you can do to boost your home's value the most. Spoiler alert, it's not going to be that. You'd think like it's one thing. Oh, by the way, so showing houses, even in the winter, those people that want to sell their houses really do try. They'll rake up leaves. Like two of the houses we were at this weekend, the gardens, like they put down mulch. I mean, people try. People that don't try, yeah. Forget the splashy in-ground pools, the brand new deck, and those impressive fire features. The landscaping that can fetch the highest return on investment might cost homeowners only an afternoon of work. Highly unlikely. It's all about curb appeal. Homeowners who invest in the standard lawn care service, which can be as simple as seeding and mowing their lawn to keep it green and healthy, generally see a 217% ROI, according to the recent report from the National Association of Realtors and the National Association of Landscape Professionals. I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that right now. First of all, I live in the middle of St. Louis, Missouri, which is the Midwest. We have this weird-ass situation where we can grow cool season grasses and warm season grasses, but neither one of them do perfect the whole year long. Right now, cool season grasses like zoysia, which I have, are not growing. They won't grow until June. And so you have nasty, spotty lawns with kind of some cool season grasses, or you have all cool season grasses and they're already green, and people have to go out and try to cut the grass in 28-degree weather. Those who would rather not lug the mower out to tackle their grass generally pay about $415 for lawn maintenance. What is that? Annually? Where did they come up with these numbers? A home's exterior and front yard are the first thing that many home buyers see as they drive up, says NAR president of research, Jessica Louts. It does impact whether a buyer is willing to step inside. That's bullshit. I'll tell you what, you go online, you see a picture of a house, you say, that house is ugly, I'm not going in. You see how, or you see the picture of the house and you're like, that's a nice house. You don't even pay attention to the lawn. I mean, you see it as how it all fits together. You don't just look at one part of it. If the lawn is beautiful but the house is crap, you're not going to go and buy the house. You're not even going to go want to look. So I don't want to hear that the house isn't the important part. The report, which looked at 11 common outdoor improvements, is based on 4 surveys. 1 targeted consumers on the most recent remodeling projects. 2 were sent to real estate agents who completed remodeling work or worked with clients who did, and 1 was for landscaping professionals. Well, that's your problem. Your sample size is toast. There's lots of reasons why someone might want to improve their outdoor space. It could be curb appeal to attract a home buyer. It could be because they're tired of looking at their space and still want to change. Or it could be they plan to spend more time outdoors, so they want someplace they can maximize their relaxation and enjoyment. You're actually asking someone why they would want to make their backyard look nice or front yard. You're asking a head of research why somebody would want their front yard to look nice. Landscape maintenance, such as keeping the shrubs trimmed and the flowers blooming, netted home sellers about 104% ROI, while upgrading their overall landscaping got them 100% ROI. Meanwhile, homeowners who installed the pool of their dreams generally got back only 56% of what they paid for it when they sell. That's true. That's true. Oftentimes somebody will say, John, I'd like to buy a house, and then we're going to see if we can put a pool in the backyard. And I say, why would you do that when you can literally just buy a house with a pool already in it and not have to pay nearly as much to put in a pool? Fire features and landscape lighting also didn't result in a big payoff, 56% and 59% respectively. Well, look, landscape lighting, that's a hard one because you got to, oh my God, I got 2 gnats flying around. This is just, I think one of them got stuck in the computer fan. I don't feel sad. 56% on fire features and landscape. Part of the problem here is it's got to be regional. So, like, if you're in California, my guess, if you can do something nice in the backyard the entire year long, yeah, absolutely. But in the Midwest, like, things get nasty here. Like, we have to put all of our nice things away during the winter. So, are we accounting for regional differences? Probably not. Healthy outdoor living in green spaces help the environment, increase home values, make communities more desirable, and improve people's mental and physical health. National Association of Landscape Professionals CEO Britt Wood said in a statement. You really made a statement? And by the way, how do you have like unhealthy? How do you make unhealthy outdoor living? How does that even happen? Nearly all real estates espouse the importance of curb appeal when selling a home, as is generally the first impression a buyer has of a property. The front door is usually the first impression I have of a property. The top outdoor recommendations were that sellers spruce up their landscape maintenance, lawn care services, and tree care before listing their homes. Duh. Homeowners might not see as large a return as they would like for installing an in-ground pool, a project that typically costs about $90,000. But it was the outdoor improvement that made them the happiest, especially as the mercury rises. If they love swimming, or if their family loves the pool, they're going to live there over the summer. Again, now we're having someone explain why having a pool in the backyard is a good thing for your family. Did you go to college for that? Other projects that spark joy in homeowners include landscape lighting. That didn't really help because you don't get paid back for it. A new patio at around $10,500. The work that brought homeowners the least enjoyment were outdoor kitchens, which cost about $15,000. That's surprising. I like the idea of an outdoor kitchen. I just don't like it when I have to deal with 2 seasons out of the year where I can't be out there. In the middle of summer in St. Louis is terrible. Tree care at about $2,800, an irrigation system at $6,000. If you want to do it right here in St. Louis, you get a sprinkler system, in-ground sprinkler. I'm not going to because I want to do it, but I don't want to spend $6,000. During the pandemic, outdoor space was valuable to homeowners, yes, who invested heavily in turning them into outdoor extensions of their homes. I was out there every day. About 92% of landscaping professionals saw increased demand for outdoor features, and 79% reported the scope of these projects increased. Everyone is spending more time outside than they were 3 years ago. That's translated into people not only looking at the inside of their home to remodel, but also looking at the outdoors of their home to upgrade as well. It's hard work. Hard work. Might be better off buying a apartment or condo, not having to deal with all that crap. I'm starting to wonder, like, every weekend, like during the week lately, it's been maybe 65 degrees. And then every weekend it drops to like 20 degrees, 20 to 30 degrees. And I'm not going outside, and I'm not starting the season now when it's like that. And then this weekend it's supposed to rain. So everything is a mess at my house. Now, there is some stuff blooming, but I'm not doing it. Don't at me. Home prices fell 1% in February, first annual drop since 2012. Huh. The U.S. median, now this is key, the U.S. median home sale price fell 1.2% in February, the first year-over-year decline since 2012. I've seen this number, 386,721, be as high as $460,000 or $440,000 during the summer. So I don't really want to hear about that. That number is made up. Sellers have been forced to lower their expectations because of high mortgage rates have put home buyer demand on ice. Not exactly true. It's true in some places. Buyers are struggling because higher interest rates have increased the cost of home ownership, and sellers are struggling because they're still adjusting to the fact their home won't sell for what their neighbors did a year ago. Says a Redfin agent on Austin, Texas, which has seen one of the largest home price declines in the country. Drop in prices bring more house owners off the sidelines, but they're in no rush because rates are high and they have the upper hand. Interesting. See, like here, buyers are just going, they're just like, I can't afford this. And sellers are like, we don't care. Shove it. Just under half. And by the way, don't misunderstand me. If the roles were reversed, the buyers are jerks too. The buyers would ask for like $20,000 in repairs. It's always overdone on both sides. Just under half of homes that went under contract in February did so within 2 weeks, down from 60.2%. 1 year earlier, as house hunters sussed out whether to buy now or wait. That's not true here in St. Louis. A buyer in Vallejo recently worked with was about to close on a $395K home, which seemed like a good deal because the same floor plan down the block sold for $460 last summer, but is now reconsidering because a nearly identical home just hit the market for $370. Well, I don't blame you, but I don't think you should go out of a deal once you have it. This is just me. Bad real estating. It's worth noting that the housing market shifted in March following the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. It's March now. Ongoing turmoil in the banking sector lowered the likelihood of the Federal Reserve hiking rates much more this year. This caused mortgage rates to drop, which brought more home buyers back to the market. The average 30-year fixed mortgage rate was 6.54% as of Thursday morning, down from nearly 7% at the end of February. The decline comes after rates jumped by almost a whole percentage point during the month of February. Yeah. Home purchases continued to level off in February following a sharp plunge in the second half of the past year. Pending home sales now have hovered around the same level since November. They rose 3.3% in February. This is all like national, and you need real local information where you are. Closed home sales showed signs of improvement as well, rising 1.8% from January, the largest month-over-month increase in over a year on seasonally adjusted basis. Closed sales fell 22.5% year-over-year, an improvement from the 35.1% record annual decline at the start of 2023. So in other places, it's been terrible. Sales that closed in February primarily went under contract in December and January. So the improvement is likely a reflection of the decline in mortgage rates during those months that temporarily boosted demand. Homebuyer competition also leveled off in February. Just under half of U.S. of homeowners written by Redfin agents face bidding wars. That's in the entire United States. Bidding war rate has now hovered around the same level for 4 months following the 9 months of decline. Still, it's much lower than it was in February, when 66.4 of offers encountered competition. There were not multiple offers on the home. There would have been if we would have waited till Sunday to write an offer. The housing market was fairly steady in February, but it's been a lot more mixed bag in March, says Lakshmi Penaputhla, a Redfin agent in San Jose. House hunters in the Bay Area are out there, but some are skittish because they're hearing rumors of layoffs in their company all-hands meetings, reading about trouble. Oh, my God. Sorry if you heard that tick. I got to do something. Oh, my God. I got him. He gone. I'll wipe my hand. Homeowners have been hesitant to put their properties up for sale because many of them have locked in mortgage rates substantially below today's level, which is true. This is what this caused. All the increase, all the free money caused serious problems that will be true for a long time. Some people are going to be left holding the bag. I don't know who those people will be. I don't wish it on anyone. Probably the U.S. taxpayer. You know, they got to fund wars in other countries. Any sort of group can have a problem with the United States, so we have to pay for that too. Our education system's garbage. Got to pay for that. Oh my God. We can't pay for, we got to pay for freaking, what's that stuff called? What is it called? Help me out. Fumigator fees. Exterminators. Anyway, I don't know. What do you think? I advise sellers to price their homes appropriately from the start. Who doesn't? A lot of people. It's cutting your list price because you have overpriced your home can scare buyers off. But you know what? If you're a good seller, if you're smart and you go looking at houses and you see a house for sale and it seems to be under what every other house is going for, you'll probably write an offer. Cutting your list price because you have overpriced your house can scare buyers off. Sellers should also avoid making knee-jerk price adjustments in response to negative economic or housing news. The market is changing quickly, which means tomorrow could bring positive news. I don't know why, like, like, let's just say you had a real estate agent that was like decent and you thought they were decent and you listened to them, okay, and they say, hey man, here's where I think we should be. I'm pricing my home. I wouldn't be like, no. I was watching CNBC last night. I was listening to John Schenk of Deerwood Realty in St. Louis, Missouri, and he's saying that the market's not that bad. You should talk to your local agent that you trust. Now, maybe you have problems with trusting people. I don't blame you. I do too. But I don't know what to tell you. I see people list their homes with agents that are terrible all the time, and they must either not know or don't care. They're related to the person. I don't know. This to me, not interesting. Not even news. You say, well, John, why did you bring it to me? Well, I hadn't read it. I liked the headline. The headline got me. This is the last article we're going to go over tonight. I don't know how many people are watching. I don't know if anybody's watching. I have the thing turned off because I don't like to see it. It drives me nuts. Because I feel like I'm performing. Like if there's a bunch of viewers, I feel like I'm performing for the viewers and I'm not being myself. I don't want to be that way. I just want to be me, whoever that is. This is the best time to sell your house this year, according to Realtor.com. Unprecedented real estate market the past years has proven that making predictions is no sure bet. Pros at Realtor.com have done some looking and digging, revealing the best time to sell in the coming months. So if you're looking to list your home, you might want to start preparing now. Like, look, let's just be honest. They just did it. The realtors in the National Gardening Landscaping Association came out with a pretty horrible report about ROI on outdoor curb appeal. So, I mean, do you really want to trust them for this? All right. According to the data, the week of April 16th to 22nd, 2023 will serve as the sweet spot for sellers, thanks to a combination of higher prices, fewer homes to compete against, faster sales time, and strong buyer demand. In fact, a survey done in collaboration with Harris X, who I have no idea who they are, maybe I should look them up, found that listing during this early spring stretch could elicit home sellers $48,000 more than they would have gotten for their homes at the start of the year. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. And dangerous. Let's say somebody has a house that's $150,000. You really think they're getting, what's the number? $48,000 more for their house if they listed during that week? Don't be dumb. Let's say somebody has let's say somebody has a $3 million house and it's the best house ever and it's worth $5 million. Do you think that they're going to accept $48,000 over asking? Just because they did it during that week? No, it's dumb. In a statement, another statement. I'm going to do statements. They seem to bring... I need to check something. Just chill out for a second. Yep, stuck. All my YouTube shorts are stuck for the night. They get to a certain... They're going fine and then just... Anyway. Research in a statement, Realtor.com's chief economist Daniel Hill says many home shoppers kick off their search in the early spring, and they often beat the majority of home sellers to the punch. For this reason, sellers who list on the earlier side will get more buyer attention, therefore more likely to sell quickly and for a higher price. What if the market goes into free fall between now and then? But it's just so dumb. And this poor woman now, she's having to explain why you want to sell your home during a good time of the year. I mean, she must get tired of people asking her stupid questions and having to write. She probably has somebody else write the statements like Jasper or ChatGPT. The research notes that the mortgage rates are expected to remain elevated through 2023, noting that for sale inventory is still well below pre-pandemic levels. This means that sellers can still expect a well-priced homes to be in high demand, especially with buyers looking to get ahead of the hot summer market by beginning their search in the spring. Yeah. What did you know about the bank failures? Did you know anything about that? Homes listing during this mid-April week have historically had prices 2.1% higher than the average week throughout the year and are typically 12.1% higher than the start of the year. Note the researchers. If 2023 follows the typical season trends of years past, the national median listing price could reach $8,400 higher than the average week and $48,000 more than the start of the year. Crazy. Not true. There's also sure to be plenty of eyes on your listing. Historically, this week garnered 16% more views per listing than the typical week. But in 2022, this week got 32.5% more views per listing than the average week as buyers' demand dropped later in the later part of the year. Well, that's because mortgage rates were like 3%. Potential buyers will also seem eager to jump if it's the right fit based on historical trends. Researchers note that the homes actively for sale during this week sold 18% faster than the average week. In the fast-moving 2022 market, this saw homes typically on the market for 32 days, 13 days faster than the year's average, and 37 days faster than was typical in 2019. The 2023 market is not expected to move as quickly as 2022, but the best week is still expected to see faster sales than the typical pace. Well, obviously. But you could do that with anything. Like whatever week happens to be the week, you can say that it was better than every other week. That's why it's statistically, that's just the way it is. And while inventory is still markedly lower than the pre-pandemic levels, a whopping 43.2% lower, in fact, active inventory at the start of 2023 was 65% higher than 2022. This gap means greater opportunities for sellers who enter the market this spring, which means it's officially time to prep your home to list if you plan on doing so. If you need some tips, check out Realtor.com's complete guide to selling your house and make sure to start making headway on your spring cleaning too. That was internal linking to their website. Well, I mean, I could have told you that it's a good time to list your house, probably like towards the end of March right now, till about April 15th. Also, people get their tax returns. That's why used cars typically have good months. I don't even think I'm going to get my taxes in on time this year. It's not been good. I was working, I got to do, there's just so many things to do. Anyway, well, let me know what you thought of the show tonight. I feel like it was pretty good at some points. It kind of got stagnant in others. I'm working on it. I want a better show. I want you to enjoy it. I mean, I'm already better than Hannity. And that guy's just a shill. By the way, my neck hurts. Like, doing this hurts. This is fine. Like, no problem. But this, oh, my God. Took 2 aspirin. Hope that's going to work, but it hasn't done anything. Anyway, look. We had a good night. Just you and me. I don't know why I like doing the streams, but I do. And I like when people come and hang out on the streams and watch them later. And if there's anything I can do, you just put it in the comment section. Say like, hey, John, what do you think about this scenario? Send me the link to an article or something. I'll put it part of the show. I don't mind. It's got to be something I understand. I don't understand why someone would want to make spaghetti out of spaghetti. That doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, well, thank you for watching tonight. I'm going to head out. I'm tired. I don't even know if I'm going to do the description tonight or wait till tomorrow. Anyway, bye.